Great morning, great morning, great morning. Well, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. And know that God, He has ordained us for such a time as this. And this is what? Sensational Suddenly Saturday. This is Tanika, Tony, to some friend, coach, sister, mother, daughter, and this is your 5-minute nugget. Yes, I said suddenly. Today, I decided to come on early and give us that 5-minute nugget that I said that I would on a daily basis. And it is a sensational Saturday. And I wanted to just stop by and say that, God does do things suddenly. I was in my time of study and I was looking and just meditating on that word suddenly. God said that He would come suddenly. He would do a thing suddenly. And I was just like, well, God, suddenly, it just seems so instant when you said in the word that there's nothing new under the sun. And suddenly just seems, it comes from nowhere. It really does. Oh, I got some praise. Suddenly just comes from nowhere. And when a suddenly happens, it's sudden to us, but as the word says, there's nothing new unto God. And so when He does a thing and He does a thing suddenly, it just instantaneously happens. And what does suddenly mean? It means that it's going to happen right then and there. There's no time for error because everything done in God is perfect. All things are possible in God. So when you think of a suddenly, it can be you go to the mailbox. That was a suddenly because you wasn't expecting that check. When you get that phone call from that friend that you hadn't talked to in some years and they want to reconcile, that's a suddenly. When you get that job offer that you had put in for months ago, that's a suddenly. When your son, daughter, husband, wife comes in and says, I love you, and that's something that they normally don't do, that's a suddenly. When you are in the grocery store and someone walks up to you and says, or you're behind someone and they say, go ahead and put your groceries on the belt, I got you. That's a suddenly. Don't be so quick to say, no, that's okay, I got it, because you don't know what God is speaking to that person. You might have it, yes, true enough. But if God is speaking to that person to bless you, you don't know what is coming up. So that is a suddenly, because you weren't expecting it. You go to the gas pump and someone says, you know what, I'm going to pay for your gas. And you're like, oh, okay, well, bless the Lord. That's a suddenly. So I thank God for suddenlies on today. I thank God that this is Sensational Saturday. I thank God that you allowed me to come in and take that 5-minute breakfast nugget with me and sit with me and just have a suddenly conversation, a suddenly whereas, we're here and we're jointly knit together. I enjoy doing these 5-minute nuggets because it's just 5 minutes. It's just to get in, get out, and see what really is being said, where my mind is, where your mind is, and knowing that God is there's no confusion, there's freedom. I spoke on freedom yesterday, and knowing that in all things that we do, we are free to do just those things. And we don't have to be in bondage. We don't have to be entangled with people and our own thoughts. So on this sensational Saturday and suddenly expect, I decree and declare that you will get a suddenly on today. And don't despise a small suddenly, because nevertheless, it is a suddenly. So as always, I love you, God loves you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you soon. Blessings.